some other providers. Someone mentioned free trade as well. I actually started checking out free trade last week. Um, so the thing about free trade is it doesn't have a lot of stocks that will be on, let's say, Nasdaq or NYSE. So it has the really popular ones. So just be aware of that. What else do I look out for? So some of the stocks that I'm looking at or that I buy or for during this period, I will be buying quite a bit in real estate. So like housing developers. The rationale behind buying housing developers is because for the US, the Fed has said that they would is now like 0% interest rate. For the UK, I think it's about 0.5%. So what that means is that housing developers will be lending a lot of money, now because they know the interest rate is very, very low. So you have the likes of like Berkeley um, in the UK, the likes of equity residential in the US. So those are the kind of stocks that I will be buying within a couple of weeks and just over during this period because one, the stock prices will keep going down, and I know these guys are going to be lending for the long haul. So as I said, the interest is really really low, so they can lend a lot of money from the so that they can do very 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 massive building projects within the not too distant future. Some of the stocks as well I'm buying pharma stocks with this whole coronavirus. Pharma stocks, will be doing pretty well in the not too distant future. All most of the stocks are affected by this. You have a few who are actually still going up, but the likes of Varian Medical, Thermo Fisher Scientific. I'll type this in when I'm done. Um, and then the kind of tech stocks I've bought in the past, Qualcomm, you basically have a Qualcomm chip on almost every mobile phone. So those guys are not going out of business anytime soon. Iridium is it's a satellite company. So when you use like Wi-Fi or use internet on the plane or on the ship or on the cruise ship, your traffic is probably going through Iridium. They have like 77 satellites in space, very similar to what Elon Musk wants to do now. But they've been around for a while. They just again revamped their infrastructure, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They have good capitalization. They have very very decent investors. Berkeley is a house development in the UK. Nvidia make graphic cards, video cards, and so with the rise of machine learning and AI, a lot of that processing is not being done in the CPU. A lot of it is now being moved to be done in the GPU. So this is stuff that Nvidia make. Nvidia have been around for a long time, and they will be around for quite a bit, as well as folks who have been doing mining with bitcoins. A lot of that stuff is also being moved to the GPU. So GPU is typically made by Nvidia. It's a market that it dominates significantly. British land and bio development. Again, back to my point about buying in development. Yeah, I think I think that's it. I don't want to take the entire time, but if you do have any questions, please let me know or just type it in the chat. This is something I've been doing for quite a while, and within this very short call, there's very limited information that I can say. I can just try to hit the nail on the head, but if you want more details, what to look out for, all of those things, I'm happy to share. I can't advise you what stocks to buy legally. I'm not allowed to do that because I'm not licensed. But this is stuff that I've been doing for a while, so I can tell you what I am doing, what I am buying, and then I'll leave you to make your decisions. That's pretty much
Sorry,
it
dude.
from me. I'll go on mute now.
Yeah. So just before you go on, what we didn't get your name. Sorry.
Oh, my name is Okwe.
Okwe. So
Yeah.
Okwe, and you've given very good detailed points. I think question I have is, do you think in this period of time you can host a specific webinar? Because as in the way you've broken it down, you are actually a very good teacher.
All right, thanks for that. Yeah, I'll be happy to do that. As
In
long
your
as
own time, obviously, no pressure. In your
yeah,
own time, because there are things you've given from short-term trades to long-term trades and stocks to look out for. So those are typically like three topic headings that you've stated out there. And
yeah,
like you said, you've given your caveat at the beginning. You can only tell us what you are doing. You cannot advise us on stocks to buy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'll be happy to have a webinar with you guys.
thank
No
you.
problem at all.
A quick mention. Have you heard of Gilead Health?
Gilead, so that Gilead.
Gilead. Yes, G for golf. I India, L Lima, E Echo, A Alpha, D Delta. Now, Gilead, I think that's because you mentioned pharma stocks. And I don't
Yeah.
want if you can research on that company. Gilead
Okay.
Gilead Health is they are the forefront of making. They made the vaccine for Ebola,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
because I'm in health, and I know
Okay.
that they at the moment they are running the clinical trials
Okay.
with one of the drugs they're in phase 3 trials. Technically means they're almost done.
Okay.
In phase 3 trials for the drug for the vaccine for corona, one of the vaccines. Many companies that are doing the vaccine. So that's a company I thought will be worth
Okay.
looking at. Gilead
Yeah.
Health. I don't know what their stock position is at all, but I just know that
Okay.
they are doing that research.
So I don't know
Okay.
about I don't know the company, but I'm happy to research. And then another thing is you want to check if they are publicly listed or they have so much money they don't need funds from the public. And
Fair
don't
enough.
and also the market is very funny, right? So it doesn't mean necessarily that because so if Gilead might find a vaccine, it's great. It means that more money for them. Their stock prices might jump up, but it's also good for that industry. So what it does is,
Okay.
I forget what this. There's a term for it, right? Where it's I forget the technical term. Basically,
Okay.
because Gilead is a pharma company, if they find the cure or they find a vaccine, what it does now is now the market is excited. The market responds to it. So their stock prices shoot up, and that has a ripple effect on other pharma stocks. So other pharma stocks, for some reason, would also shoot up. It might not make a lot of logical sense to you, but the way the market responds to such sorry, I can't remember the term, but
But
so
I
so,
think we
so try
understand.
not to.
I
So
think,
whilst
yeah.
one or two companies or three companies might be focused on delivering the vaccine, don't forget that there are there are a lot of other ancillary services that other pharma companies will like supporting services
Yeah.
to, for example, this Gilead. So the vaccine might be found by Gilead, but there's a lot of supporting work that is in the background with other pharma firms, and those other pharma firms, their stocks might be lower, might be cheaper, because
Interesting. Good
they're not
point.
so obvious. And so once this stuff once let's say a vaccine is found, their prices would shoot up. So you have a chance of making a bigger markup because you've bought at a lower price before the vaccine was found. So again, this comes down to research. You find out, okay, who is Gilead working with, who provides them ancillary services, all of that kind of stuff.
Thanks so much.
Interesting.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Guy,
Yeah.
okay. Put in some of the companies you feel you should know that you're buying stocks in, and we can just definitely do our research as well. Guys, I'm
Okay,
trying
yeah,
to
I'll do
Can I
that
ask
now.
a question?
in terms of time. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to ask a quick question. So the gaming industry right now is at its own peak because everybody's at home playing one game or the other. So do you
Yeah.
think this is the best time for you to invest in the gaming industry? For example, if you check Activision online, you realize that their stock is like so high right now. They're making so much money. Do
Mhm.
you think that after this whole pandemic, do you think that you will be at a loss, or do you think your money will still be on the same level or probably higher?
Yeah. So I don't know who's asking that question. What's your name? That's a great question, by the way.
My name is
Um,
Moti.
Motufe. Yeah. Okay. So
Moti.
Moti. Okay. That's a great question, and one of the sorry, can I ask if you're not speaking, that you go on mute because there's a lot of background noise. Yeah.
Oh, it's my stuff is on mute.
Okay, so that's a great question. One of the stocks that I actually invest in is a company called CDPR, CD Project Red. So, short answer is,
Jesus, I still have it, but I don't know where it is, to be honest.
um, sorry, who's speaking. Okay, should I carry on?
I
Um,
need.
I'm still hearing so much noise. Can you hear me? Maybe it's mine.
Yes, I can hear you, but the
Okay.
noise is not coming because
Okay,
I'm
okay.
alone.
So, I was saying that. So the short answer for you made a mention of Activision. What I would look at is their pipeline. What was the plan for the year? So gaming cycles are not very short cycles. So to turn around a game is not really short. So typically you would have 6 to 8 months. If it's a new IP, if it's a new IP, it might be longer. With coronavirus, it probably affects the dynamic of things. There's a lot of games that have been postponed indefinitely. So what I would look at is what was in the pipeline for 2020. Was Activision going to roll out any new games or an existing IP this year? So Activision probably had a game that they were going to, a game or two that they were going to, probably not necessarily a new IP. Probably one of the existing ones. That would be one thing I'll look out for. Um, when are they going to release it? Was it going to be um, around the holiday period? So around Thanksgiving or around December, as well as the PlayStation 5, the new Xbox, those next generations are supposed to come out around the holiday this year. So that's probably around Thanksgiving or Christmas. So is there a plan already? So this is the kind of stuff I'll look at. The fact that a lot of people are using are playing games right now at home, and yeah, probably using up a lot of their services. They're making some money now. For me, that wouldn't really influence my decision to buy. So for example, a lot of people are using Zoom, a lot of people are using Microsoft Teams now. If after this pandemic, would they still use it? Yes, most likely. The same with games. You had people who were going to buy anyway if they were going to release a new IP this year. You had people who were going to buy that. How did they do last year? So I would look at the trend. I'll look at the trend. I'll look at what was the plan for 2020 and 2021 before I make a decision to buy, and as well as at the price. If it's too high, then I'll go somewhere else. So one of the stocks that I didn't mention earlier on is CD Project Red. CD Project Red is the second biggest studio, gaming studio in Europe. Now they made The Witcher, which a lot of you might know from the Netflix series. Now, it was so successful that Netflix then made a show about it, right? And they're making another game this year, which is supposed to be the most anticipated game. It's a game that everyone has been waiting for. So that has influenced my decision to buy in CD Project Red. It's been very, very successful. It's a small Polish studio. So what that means is small team. They have a lot of money coming in. They've been very, very successful for a long time, and they're public. So that is what has informed my decision. So irrespective of whether this coronavirus affects their dev cycles or not. I can see already historically they've had very, very, very successful titles, and they will still be releasing more Witcher series. So not only are they getting royalties from Netflix as a result of the series, they're still selling the games, and they will be making future games. So this is the kind of stuff I use to make my decision when it comes to the gaming industry. I know that was a long-winded answer, but hopefully it gave you, some clarity.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to move forward. So I'm on mute. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we can hear you,
sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So we're going to have to move forward. So just one. There was someone who was supposed to join in today and talk about shares, but I don't think he's been able to. I'm not sure. So just one more question, then we're moving to the next topic.
Could I go, Samson?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Hi, Tanya from the UK.
Antonio.
Thank you, Ope. That was really, really insightful and easy to follow. I think my question is more broad and about continuous learning. So everybody seems to have reiterated that it's important to do your own research, but are there any sort of podcasts or blogs or subscriptions that people follow that they found helpful in sort of developing their knowledge in how to navigate trading and stocks?
Hey, this is Oshoka. I just have one quick response to your question. I use investing.com. I believe it's a Yahoo service, but they have apps, iOS, Google, whatever, and you can download it, and it actually gives you a bunch of information about different companies and what's going on. That's one thing that I use, and it's really, really detailed. So if you're looking for as much information as you can get, you can find it there. If you're looking for little information, you can find it there too. So that's one great resource.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
To answer that, there's a chap I follow called Boyce Watkins. He's a really brilliant chap. So you probably can find him on Twitter. So I follow his work, and that has really helped me to understand a lot of the stock market, as well as the Motley Fool. The Motley Fool is fantastic. I think it's fool.com. So don't be put off by the name, but there's a wealth of information on fool.com, like fool.com. So those are two resources off the top of my head. I also do a lot of Googling, reading the financial statement, the annual statements are public. Is the company, if it's a company that's publicly listed, they are legally bound to publish this. So you can read about them. You can read on what's they said in the meetings and stuff. So it gives you an idea. And just start slow. That's the main thing. Don't try to consume so much stuff that is so overwhelming at the beginning. I know it's easy to want to be a professional like right now, but just start slow. The one that you find most easy and most lucid, and just keep reading or keep listening and keep trying with small bits of money. So if it's £100 a month or £80 a month, just stay within that and be consistent. That's the most important thing. It's really, really important that you be consistent. Hopefully that helps.
Okay, we're going to have to move to the next topic. I know we spent a lot on this. We'll probably continue this, maybe do another one in terms of catching up. But we're moving to the next topic, which is creating digital content and other opportunities. So basically online right now is the way forward in terms of, some people have been laid off work, and digital opportunities, knowing how to create or make money online is a discussion we'd like to know about. If anyone is vast in this, if anyone has any experience, that'll be great. Whoever wants to go first, please let us know. Introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing.
I think Ivioma wants to go first.
Okay, Ivioma, go ahead, please. Hello?
You're on mute, by the way. You're on mute.
Who I am, or?
No, Ivioma, who is speaking,
Okay.
is on mute.
Okay.
Ivioma, we can't hear you.
Can you unmute yourself?
She's unmuted now. She's unmuted now, anyway.
Oh, we can't hear her. I can't hear what she's saying.
Okay, who wants to go next till she comes in? Anyone has anything to talk about digital content, making money online?
Anthony.
Anthony, go ahead. How are you?
Anthony here. Digital content, making money online. There are a couple of ideas that we could look at on that particular one. The first thing is to first of all find what your interests are. there's virtually something for everything. It could be remote work, for example. Remote work is really is a very important aspect for now. People can do a lot of things online. You have virtual assistants. You have people looking for bookkeeping. You could also be, if you code, write lines of code, you can get a lot of job working remote. There are several websites that you can look at. Off the top of my head, I can think of remote.com, remote.co, sorry. Remote.co allows
Remote.co. Okay.
yeah, you can do remote work with remote.co. I'm posting that up now. So that is for remote work. You can go check that out. There are other ones like that too. Then if you can transcribe, you can listen to an audio recording and provide a transcription of what you've listened to. You can use a service like transcribeme.com, which helps you do that. I'm thinking off the top of my head because this was not the topic I wanted to talk about. Then there's a Teespring. Teespring lets you produce your own T-shirts without actually owning any T-shirts. So that's teespring.com. So you can just provide the designs, and you might be wondering, how do I provide designs for T-shirt? I don't know anything about designing. Interestingly, we have Canva. So Canva can help you do a lot of design, and it's very, very user-friendly. It's easy to use. What else? So it depends actually on really what is your area. It could also be something as simple as writing an ebook. You have a couple of ideas in your head and you just put it down and you publish an ebook and sell it online. Many people
How
have
does it
decided they
work?
could
How
do.
do you gain the transact? How do you gain the how what's the word I'm trying to use? How do you get the momentum in that regards of getting people to transcribe? I mean, you just put the
I
service out
believe the
there.
word you are looking for. I believe the word you are looking for, Samson, is traffic.
How do you
How do
find
you get
customers?
traffic?
Yes.
How do you find customers in Nigerian parlance? The first step with these kind of things is to register on those different platforms, and you can start working from there. And then there are a couple of platforms you can provide your service as an expert in a particular area. For example, somebody just posted Fiverr. Fiverr is a very good resource. You have something also like Upwork, which used to be Odex before, where you can sell your services online and you get people who will pay you for those services. I don't know whether I've answered the question you asked, or maybe you need to ask it again.
No, I think you've made good sense in what you said. I understand. If are there any questions anyone wants to chip in? Please.
So I'd like to chip in. So there's a company for women that work remotely. For instance, it's called Power to Fly.
Who are we speaking with, and what's your
Sorry.
background? Sorry about that.
My name is Amin. I'm an engineer,
Hi,
but
Amin.
I also have like a creative business. So,
Hi,
hi. So as far as companies in the tech space, if you want to work completely remote, there are companies like powertofly.com. It's for
Sorry,
people who,
what?
I'll type it in, power to fly, as in fly like a bird.
Okay.
I'm going to type that in. Powertofly.com. It's a remote resource. It's free to join. Companies like Google, Facebook, whenever they have remote jobs, they post on there as well. So it is dedicated to women, but men can apply as well. But it's something that was started. The founders started it because they worked in tech, but they wanted more resourceful. They wanted more of work-life balance. So it's dedicated to completely remote jobs. Sometimes they post jobs that you can go to in person. Regarding the content, regarding the question about, content, I think it's very important to be on LinkedIn. What people are doing right now on LinkedIn, because people are out of work and looking for work, is a lot of people, the companies that are making a lot of money are resume writing, resume revamping, LinkedIn revamping. So if you know you have a strong LinkedIn profile, for instance, and you're able to, and you're able to get remote jobs. Excuse me, if you're sorry, the noise in the background distracted me. So let's say you have a strong LinkedIn profile. You can actually make
Jojo,
a.
can you mute all people if you can, please?
Who's
Go
speaking?
ahead.
Should I know who not to mute?
I mean,
My name is Amin. It says AA on Skype, something like that.
Right, brilliant.
Okay, so if you have a strong LinkedIn profile, for instance, and you also know how to do resumes and you know how to interview well. So if you've been successful in interviewing or securing jobs every time you interview or securing interviews every time, this is something you can do that is low hanging fruit literally tomorrow. So for instance, you can offer a package of doing revamping people's LinkedIn account, doing their resume, and offer interview prep for at least their initial interview, not like further stages for tech companies at like $500 a pop, and you do 10 people a month, that's $5,000 that you can make on the side. And this is
anyone in the world can do it. You can do it from anywhere.
Yeah, because all you have to do is, so for instance, I have an email list, a large email list of like 13,000 people. So I don't necessarily have to, go and pay for ads. But let's say you didn't have that community that you've built. For instance, if you guys have this community, so someone here who's interested in doing that can share it. There are a lot of people looking for jobs. There are a lot of people who have good skills and a great background, but they don't know how to get interviews because, for instance, like on the resume, they don't know that there's a candidate tracking system where, if you don't mention certain words, you're not going to get the interview because it goes through an automated system. And I'm talking from experience. I have worked in engineering for over 10 years, but I wanted to make a transition to work at Google or Facebook. The first time I ever applied, I got interviews. Google and Facebook get 100,000 applicants every freaking day, pretty much. They get over 2 million applicants a year. So how did I get an interview with them? Because I had to switch the way I did my resume. A lot of people just list their job description on their resume. They don't know how to say, I was able to do X for Y, and then it resulted in Z. So little things like that. If you have knowledge like that, it's knowledge that you can make a lot of money with it. You can do people's resumes for them. Outside of that, you can even talk about, let's say you used to work for a tech company. So there are a lot of ex-Googlers and ex-Facebook people or ex-Amazon who use that to their advantage, and they're able to talk about how to frame your resume. Some people charge like $100 a pop to give you like reference to interviews. They won't give you exact answers or questions, but they'll give you an inside view as to how the interview process works, so you're more prepared. There are people, and the reason why I said they're ex-Googlers is because while they're working for the company, obviously there's a conflict of interest. They can't do that. So that's another way to make money. Another thing you can do, like I said, if you don't have an audience already, you can start building that on LinkedIn, and you can pay for ads. You can pay for ads on Instagram and Facebook. They're super easy to do. You can pay for like a $10 ad to invite people that maybe necessarily weren't in your peer view. Now
sorry to cut you off. In terms of paying for ads, for example, I'm playing the devil's advocate here. I have some people who would say, well, I've paid for ads on Instagram and Facebook and nothing came from it.
I never used to use ads, and I used it once and I didn't think it changed anything for me. But it does work for some people. It's not something that you have to do one and done. You have to kind of continue with it. I personally don't need ads because I have a strong audience. But I'm just giving that option. Like it's there. If you spend $1 for 7 days, it's not really going to work. But some people have had success with $10 ads, for instance, and you run it for like 3 days. You don't want to run it too long and you don't want to run it too short. And you have the option to choose which audience you want to see it. So if you're in London, but you're trying to attract more people in New York or California, you're not going to spend the ad and choose people in London. You're going to choose California, and they will see it. You will see some traffic, but you also have to have good content behind what you want them to click on. Another thing we can do is
hello, Ivy. Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Yep. Okay. So with regards to what you're saying, my name is Akilachi. and I'm a portfolio manager, IT portfolio manager.
Mhm.
I was just going to ask, with regards to what you're saying, because I've sold stuff on Instagram before.
Yeah.
What about creating buzzwords like search engine optimization? I don't know if
That absolutely helps. We have to remember that the bottom line of Facebook and Google are ads. That's why Amazon is starting to get into the ad space as well. So yes, for Google, for instance, if you use keywords and you have a blog or you're a publisher, that will help you. It'll bring traffic.
yeah.
Yes, so that absolutely works. That's what their business is, ads, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else wants to come? By the way, thank you. I mean, that was really great what you've said. You've shared a lot of light into things, and much appreciated. Anyone else wants to chip in? I've had people who said we should go. So we should go on to. So I wanted to do this in 1 hour 30, but people are saying two.
All right. Can I
Let's
say
see how it
something?
goes. Go ahead.
Can I say something? Okay, so this is
Hello.
I think I lost her. Is it just me?
Did she go on mute? It
I think the
probably
call
did.
dropped.
Yeah, I
Oh, the
lost
call
her.
dropped. Okay. All right. We'll get to wait for her to come back. So in the
Anyone
meantime,
else wants to join in?
okay. So I think let me just my name is Tosin, medical doctor, health coach. I'm more in the health and wellness industry, but I am a bit into content creation. Following on from what Amina said, I think I'll just see if I can add a few things there. Where I'll start is like it was said at the beginning, content creation. If we're looking at that, we're thinking about having a particular niche. I think those are the keywords that are being used generally. Have your niche, and you have to know what you want to do. For instance, my niche is health and wellness and fitness. Amina seems to be more into engineering and tech. And a brilliant example that I'll use is going back to the stock. Okwe, for instance, is into investment trades and stock. So, for instance, I'll use an example to run it through, and you can extrapolate it to any industry. Okwe wants, I don't, sorry, Okwe, just before I go on, maybe you're already doing this. Do you have a blog post before you just say yes or no before I go on?
No, I don't at the moment.
Okay. And just to clarify, you the industry you talked about, is that the industry and that is your passion, yes?
So I work in tech, but I invest. I invest, yeah, naturally towards tech, but other verticals as well.
Okay, good. So I'll just use you as a quick example. So you've given a quick breakdown, and you already have content and you're passionate. So, for instance, you start creating content around investment strategies people can do. You can title it "Crisis: How to Invest in This Crisis Period in COVID-19." Blah blah blah. There's what they call. I don't know if anybody knows what they call a clickbait. So you can put something like a clickbait, a title that attracts people. When you do content, there are three platforms you
Can
always
you,
have to think about.
Jojo, please? Can you? Yeah, go ahead.
Again, this is all from learning. I'm no expert here. I've just started. My followership and things are still very little, but it's what this is the technique I'm working with. There are technically three platforms that you have to use.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, did we lose Tosin?
I
I
think
think
we
we did.
did.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I was enjoying it as
Okay.
well.
Anyone
Sorry,
wants
I
to
went on
come?
mute. I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
good.
here.
Right.
I,
All right.
I accidentally went on mute. So where did I leave you guys? Three platforms. Video, the video platform, audio platform, and written platform. That's blog posts. Audio, the best way to look at audio is podcast, and video are things like IGTV and YouTube. We'll be able to get back into those in a bit. And written can now be broken down into Instagram posts, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the new kids on the block are TikTok and P-pop, or is it D-pop? Man, I can't even keep up myself, to be very honest with you. Those are the new things on block. So content creation, we're using Okwe as an example. Okwe like has talked about stock. He has given us a quick rundown on these things. Literally, Okwe, everything you said in the last 10 minutes is an ebook. You already created an ebook. So for instance, you sit down and let's say, okay, you have some time in your free hands, you create an ebook on how to invest in stock. I'm giving an example there. And with that ebook there, you can either decide one, what do I want to do with the ebook? Do I want to start making money straight away? And you have to look at what your audience size is. Or two, do you want to build your audience size, which might be what you want to. Let's say you go and say you've looked at your Instagram followership and your what do you call it? Say you want to build some followership, or like Amina says, Amina seems to have a strong email list of 13,000. That is a very strong image. You now say maybe you want to build your email listing, and this will have to go a bit further because email listing is another topic on its own. So what you decide is you create an ebook on the investment strategies that you gave us, and you can either one give it out for free, and what you get in return is people's contact or get them to follow you on Instagram, join you on Facebook, where there's a subtopic called creating Facebook groups, which we can get into later, or get their email addresses. I never realized the importance of email address until just about December last year. How about creating email lists and how important it is. And you can give that short ebook for free. That's one example. That same ebook that you've said now, you can turn it into a podcast. You see where I'm going? Literally the same content. Or you can decide to do a webinar video where you get people to come in, and depends on what you want. Obviously, let's say your passion was stock now. And your webinar video, you can do exactly what Amina talked about, coaching people.
Jojo, please put everyone on mute. Go ahead, Tosin.
Yeah. And you can now decide to charge them anything from like, let me see, yeah, anything from $100 to $500 just to coach them on how to invest in stock. There are different trends to go into. Or you may decide, this is content creation, and you may decide to put some constant posts on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook on stocks to invest in, how to invest. This is the, I don't know if you people see my example here.
Yeah, no, we do.
Am I making any sense?
Yeah. Let's
yeah, absolutely, Tosin. Yeah, I get you, and I think I've read about the strategy that you just outlined before. So I totally get you.
Anyone wants to chip in or has questions, please come in. We're going to talk for another maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll move to the next topic.
And Sam, hi Sam.
Yes, hi.
It's Akilachi here, Skilachi.
Hi.
I wanted to say, I just wanted to ask about, I don't know if you guys touched on Bitcoin and stuff like that.
So I think, what we'll do is we'll probably come back to investments for another 20 minutes. After we've gone through the other agenda items, then we'll probably come back to investment, because it looks like quite a few people missed it and want to come back and have that discussion. So we'll touch a few things, and anyone else who wants to chip in on those things can. So right now we're still on.
It's Amin again. I'm just going to let everybody know. I'm going to drop a link. It was created by someone in the tech space with thousands of companies from A to Z who are currently on freeze, still hiring, rescinding offers, and layoffs. The reason why I'm adding this is because it goes to the whole topic of stocks as well. Because most companies, if a company is doing layoff, that's not a good sign. So I'm going to drop the link in here as well. It's real-time live info from employees that already work in the company, from A to Z. Company.
Thanks, Amin.
All right.
Thanks, Amin. Really great. Anyone else wants to chip in on digital? I beg your pardon. Digital content and online space. Anyone wants to talk and discuss or ask questions?
Just before they ask question, for people in Nigeria, I just found this literally 2 or 3 days ago when I was researching. There's a website I found called Kobo Course. That's KOBO, Kilo Oscar Bravo Oscar Course. .com.
Can you type it, please, as well?
Yeah, let me find if I type it there. I've just literally created an ebook, my ebook, and I've put it there. It runs on the Paystack platform. I'm sure everybody should be familiar with Paystack if you're based in Nigeria, for payment modalities. Let me see if I can type that now. Paystack. No, Koboko, sorry.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for that. Anyone wants to chip in? Anyone wants to talk? Anyone has any questions?
Hey, I want to chip in. Amaka.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Hi,
so
Amaka.
I think people have mostly said what I wrote down, but just a couple of little more things to add. So another way that I know I've personally tried it that you could easily make money online is through tutoring. So quite a number of companies are, especially from Asia and some parts of Eastern Europe, they look for people who have English, quote unquote, as a native language. So all you have to do really is have a degree, and then you apply, and many of them would easily take you. I think it's a very easy way to just sort of make extra money on the side. I personally I used them a while ago in school and just a while after. I think it's a really, really good thing to do. So I have a couple of companies. I did a post once on the group, but I wasn't able to reach out to everybody to give information. But if you could just look into teaching English online, that would be something really, really easy to do.
What sites can you go to? Where can you register to do that? So for a novice, say in Lagos or in London, where can one do that? How can one go about it?
So if you stay in Nigeria, it might be an issue just because of the internet stability. So one of the key requirements most of them ask for is that you have stable internet, and they would test it for you. So I know there was a time I went back to Nigeria for a month or so and my account got suspended. So you need to be able to have stable internet. But if you're anywhere else, Canada, America, the UK, you should be able to do it just fine. Another thing is still tutor related. So I'm kind of like a research person sometimes. So there's this other one called Study Pool. So Study Pool is pretty much you come
Can you
on.
type it, please? Can you type, please?
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Study Pool. Yeah, so Study Pool is pretty straightforward. So you just come on and then you help people answer questions. So it could be anything from coding to helping somebody formulate a mixtape to answering algebra, calculus, whatever. There's a variety of fields. So you pick what you want and you help people answer the questions and you get paid. The good thing about that one is you kind of get to set your prices. So there's like an auction for the questions that come out, you answer them, and then if you meet the person's requirements, you get paid. So that's another one. There's another one also for the UK. I think it's tutors.com, but that's just for people that are still in school. So it's pretty much like you're helping somebody else in another university to you're sort of tutoring them and helping them through. So that's for tutoring. Then another thing that I know I used in school was freelancer. Somebody mentioned Upwork. So freelancer is very similar to Upwork. So you have a skill, you put yourself out there, you find somebody who wants you to do work for them and you get paid. Then I'm not too sure about this particular one, but I had friends who did it in school, modeling. So it was pretty easy. You just have to reach out to the companies, or if you already have like a profile on Instagram or something, you just make yourself you create awareness in a way. Your friends could help you to share your profile, things like that. And then you model, it's easy money. And then Gumtree in the UK, I've seen people also able to sort of advertise services. So like, okay, you could be like, oh, I can teach your child how to play the piano, or I could help you mow your lawn or something like that. So Gumtree actually still works.
Just to say something with Gumtree, sorry to cut you off, is you need to be very vigilant. There are a lot of scammers on Gumtree. Just need to be very vigilant.
True.
Very, very true. So I think that's pretty much it. The rest has already been talked about. Making an email list, YouTube. I think the person talked about YouTube forgot to mention that you actually could make money from YouTube as well. But then for you to monetize your account, you have to have over 1,000 subscribers and I think 4,000 hours or something. But once you do, then as long as you can keep your content, people are interested in watching you and building that time, then you keep making money. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. You've been a great help. Toyo, quickly chip in before we move to the next topic.
Okay, Toyo here. So, a couple of two platforms that I've been using recently to make money online would be Naira Tweets. So basically, I think what these guys are doing are having people who want to advertise. So they use your Twitter account to advertise. So basically, what you have to do is subscribe, register, and then they give you tweets per day that you post on your Twitter. For Naira Tweet, you need about 200 followers and above to subscribe. So currently, I'm on the free trial.
Okay.
And then you post those tweets for them each day, and then you send the link to the tweet. There's a place to make the link and then credit your account for that day. And then the other platform, I'll type in all this later. The other platform will be DG Ad. I think that one works for WhatsApp. So what you do is you post the stay on your status, on your WhatsApp status. So it could be pictures or it could be words. And then once you have 30 views, you screenshot and then submit the screenshot for the day, and then they credit your account. So basically, those are the two other ways.
Please, when you can, post it, and so other people can have access to this. By the way, just to put, if you're not on any of our platforms and you do want to join any of the Returnees platforms, please let me know and I'll add you in. We share information there as well for those who are not on the platforms.
Sorry, can you repeat which platform that was where she said if you get 30 views on your WhatsApp status, please?
Can you repeat it, Toyo?
I think it's DG Ad, but then I'll get the link now and post them.
Okay. Okay. One more person in terms of chipping in, and then we move to the next topic.
Yeah, I was saying something earlier before my network went bad. This is Moti.
Okay.
Yeah, so another way that I make money online is by helping people get back their old customers. Most Nigerian entrepreneurs, especially the SMEs, are quite lazy with reaching out back to their old customers. Maybe someone bought something from you in January and this is December. You're not reaching out to this person. You're not even asking the person, oh, how is the product that you bought from me the other time? So what I do is negotiate with the owner of the brand or the owner of the business. And then if I help you get back your customer, I get a certain percentage or a certain amount from whatever it is I'm helping you sell. If I can help you bring back your old customers, I get like 15-20%. And if I'm bringing a new customer for you, I get like 10%. So it's just like another way of me making money online. I call it like helping the lazy people get back something that they've lost. So
I do believe in retention and going back to old customers. So thanks for that. That's a very valid point. Anything else? Anyone wants to say any more thing regarding content creation and the digital space before we move to the next topic? Anyone?
Honestly, because it's still Miss Tosin again. I think it's quite a broad topic. I'd rather say, are there any questions? So if we can focus it to questions that people have, then that might be able to narrow down how to answer some of the questions. I may not be able to answer everything.
It's open to questions. So what I meant was, anyone wants to chip in, ask a question, feel free. Okay. Well.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Your name?
Okay. Hi. It's Shibi Obianyo. I'm in Niger. Well, I'm stuck in Niger at the moment, actually. So I wanted to say, actually, in terms of the online content, I know everybody is hearing a lot of stuff going on, but one thing I do say to people is just start. You don't have to have millions of content or millions of hours of content. Just start. You might not be good at video editing. You might not be good at speaking. But just start. As you continue to put content out, you will get better at it. So you may just feel like you might see a lot of videos on YouTube and think, oh man, these guys are really good. You see some of the thumbnail covers that people have, but if you just get started, as crappy as you might feel your first video or blog post will be, just keep at it. That's one thing I would say to people.
I think another thing I'd like to add to that. Oh, sorry. So I just wanted to add something to the last speaker. I think when you're posting on YouTube or on Instagram, the hashtags used as well are potential traffic drivers to that whatever content you're putting out. So if you see the popular hashtags that people have been using, either on YouTube or on Instagram, once you start using those on yours and creating some new ones as well, you start driving traffic to whatever content it is.
I'd like to add something also quickly. Anthony here again. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, when it comes to YouTube, you might think that it's a very complex thing to do, but it's really not. Some people make get a lot of views just by curating things that others have done. So, for example, there's this popular comedians that we have on Instagram, and people just get their top 10 videos, put it together into a video, have an opening, have a closing, and then they post it online. This becomes their own source of income, and every time they just focus on that niche. Like somebody also said here, you need to start looking at the tags that are used in all of this, in all of these videos. There's a Chrome extension I use. For those of you that use Google Chrome, it's called Keywords Everywhere. It helps you to see the keywords on a site. If you search using your own Chrome, your own Google Chrome, it also shows you what other keywords people are searching for around that particular thing. So you can download that Google extension, Keyword Everywhere. I'm typing that in now, and that can also help. But that's my extra contribution.
Hello?
Samson, I think you're mute.
Where did everybody go?
Here.
Samson, are you still on the call?
He's on the call. I think he's mute. His microphone is muted.
Samson, you're on mute. Oh, do you know that? I don't think he realizes that.
Okay, then.
Guys, apologies. I didn't even know I was on mute and I kept talking. Sorry. Okay, sorry, Nina. Yeah, Nina, just a quick one if you're there. You spoke about flexible working, health awareness in terms of e-commerce. Do you want to quickly touch on that as well? Do you want to?
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, nice.
Nina, are you there? Am I on mute or?
Oh, we can hear you.
No, you're not on mute. Maybe she.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, we move to the next thing then, since Nina hasn't answered. Free online courses to go into. Does anyone have any? Can anyone share? Can anyone talk about? Can anyone advise? So people who want to go into project management, people who want to go into coding, people who want to go into programming.
I have a couple of links. One for Ivy League institutions that are offering free courses during the Corona situation. Another one from Udemy, I think. So I'll pop the link in here. Project management, all sorts.
Okay. Anyone else can Anyone advice? Anyone
Yeah.
wants?
So alongside those two, I've used FutureLearn for a while. I've also used Coursera. So they're pretty much just for everything. So you just go there, and also the Open University. And then in terms of health specifics, there's the WHO has one. I think it's called Open Who, something like that. But then Coursera, FutureLearn, Udemy, like she said, those are the ones I remember. But I use them quite often. And so you could get FutureLearn, especially, you could get free courses, and you could also get the paid ones. But then the good thing is they offer this thing they call an unlimited or premium. So you pay 189 quid for a whole year, and you can get most of your courses free. And you get a certificate once you're done, and it's from top universities. So John Hopkins, Monash, universities all over. So that's FutureLearn. Coursera is free completely, I think. And Udemy as well.
Please type these things as well. Anyone else wanting to chip in for free courses?
Okay, so
I've got one.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I've just recently got a job and it involves a bit of coding, which I have absolutely no background in, and I've been using a website called Code Academy.
Code Academy.
It's free, so and it's just basic SQL, and I mean it's got other advanced courses as well. But all I've just used is a basic SQL course, and for a coded person, it's been quite useful.
Okay, let me switch it a bit just to what for people who want to go into a new career or people who want to get a better job, what's your advice on learning tools or things to go into in terms of courses to take? What would you advise? What would some of the captains of the industries here advise to go into or start with?
I would say again.
Guys, can one by one? Sorry, can you go ahead?
This is hello.
Jojo, can you mute all calls, please?
Okay, so this is Amin again. So definitely, I think what's hot on the market right now is product management. Project management is always there, but product management, literally in any company, I'm talking about roles that will actually change your salary trajectory. So like product management on average, on average, in a tech company, even if you learn the skills from scratch, like the free courses she just mentioned, they start at like 175K and can go up to 300 and something K with their package, with your total package. So I think product management is something you should definitely look into. Product marketing management. Another thing is customer success roles. These are where you can work for tech companies, but you don't necessarily have to have the engineering degree. And to piggyback off of what she said, learning the coding for free, there are a lot of companies right now offering, coding academies that are offering coding lessons basically for free. They're kind of paying you to teach you coding, and some of them offer like a $1,250 stipend to learn each month. But the caveat is when you get a top role at one of these companies, you pay them back. And the maximum you pay back is $40,000. But in other words, you get to learn for like 6 months with a coding academy. And this is for people mainly who either know nothing about coding and they're learning from scratch, or people who are mid-level and want to just change their career path. So I think those are resources you should definitely look at, but definitely product management roles and product marketing management. I think they're very hot in the market with
how do you get into product management? So for a novice, say someone works in retail, wants to go into product management, what do they have to do?
So let's say you don't have an MBA degree and but you have managed a project before, because project management is very broad. For instance, let's say you've worked for a nonprofit and you're able to raise money for a conference. You can put that on your resume as a project that you've managed. Now, product management is something very specific, which takes you through the life cycle of a product from the ideation all the way to execution. So that's a little different, but LinkedIn itself, if you have LinkedIn Premium, they literally have courses on it and you can get certifications. Once you get that certification, and the courses are not difficult, you can watch them on video. Once you get certification, you can actually put that on your resume and then you can apply. So if you're starting from scratch, I would highly suggest that you use LinkedIn resources. And also, there's a lot of things on YouTube that will take you through product and project management without you not necessarily having to go to school. And remember, a couple of years ago, I keep mentioning these top companies because they literally, the salary they offer can literally change your life. So the reason why I mention this is Google and Facebook a couple of years ago became more lenient with their requirements as far as education. So what they're saying is not saying that you can get a job without a degree, but it's not that you just come in with no degree, no experience. So it's for people who may have experience or have learned on their own. They can still literally be a software engineer at Google without having an engineering degree because you have the background. So I think it's important to take advantage of these free resources during this lockdown. Go on LinkedIn Learning. They have a lot of free courses, but if you take the premium one, those are the free courses that will allow you to have a certification. So let's say you don't have a degree in, for instance, construction management, but you're able to learn, let's say LinkedIn offers a course. Sometimes they collaborate with Coursera. You can literally learn these things as if you went to school for it. And these are accredited certificates. And it's proven people do get jobs. So if you want to have a career path change, you need to sit down, figure out which program you want to go into. But the first thing you should start with is look at roles that you want. People always start backwards. Don't start with your resume and taking the course. Look at the roles that you want and then say, okay, what are the qualifications they're asking for in this role? If it says product management, definitely take that LinkedIn course. There's literally a LinkedIn course on it that gives you a certificate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And can I just add to that as well? Sometimes it's always good as well to have some sort of experience. So what I would say is look at the current organization you're in and what opportunities do you have. I work with the NHS and they do what they call it a secondment, where you have an opportunity to work with in a different department for a short term. That gives you a feel. So because sometimes you have an idea in your head of what you want as a job, but having had an experience would make you make a better decision. So if in your current organization there's opportunities where you can shadow or you can learn, that's just test the waters and see if it's a path you want to go down, and then that might and it also help your CV as well because you've got the qualification like the lady that I just spoke said, but you've also got hands-on experience that you could put on your CV as well. So that would be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
One.
awesome.
I have one more thing to add to that. Oh, sorry.
All right, just real quick. I remember I got an email. I don't remember. I'm going to try to look for it, but it was a company or a site, something like that, that offered you the opportunity to get virtual experience. So I think it's more. I'm in the medical line, so it doesn't really apply to me. But for other people, I'll try to see if I could get the email and probably forward it to Samson or something. It's for helping you to get virtual experience at these top companies and other companies. I'm not too sure what countries it's for, but I'll try to see if I can find the email and then forward it to you, Samson.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Quick one. Okbe here. So one of the things I've done this week that has taken significant amount of my time is interviewing. I've interviewed about between 10 to 12 people to join my team. And
so what company is that?
Let me just finish making my point, please. So this is typically from engineers to technical consultants. And the reason I'm saying this is, one of the easiest ways to stand out if you don't have the wealth of experience is also have things that you've done, like projects. So if you're writing code, don't just write code and run it on your local machine. Publish some of this code on GitHub, right? If you, in addition to that, publish articles on Medium. So you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to have the 20 to 40 years of experience. But when an interviewer or someone reviewing your resume says that you have a footprint on social media, they go there, they look at your code, they're able to follow your reasoning. I did this with some of the guys I'm interviewing for, and I asked them, I said, oh, okay, so how did you get this into the array? And we followed on from there. So they didn't have the wealth of experience, but they had somewhere that we could start off from and have a very great conversation. So don't just do stuff within and say, okay, I've done this project management course now. Think about something you liked about the project management course and write an article on it. It doesn't have to be a long one. It could be a 5 minutes read and publish it. It's out there. You add it to your profile it adds traction to, and it differentiates you from others. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Opay.
Just to add
sorry,
as well, sorry. Just to add, it's
just
Lorraine. Can you hear me?
Can I suggest that the gentleman that just spoke about writing an article, if you can, provide links to where you're saying so that people can, follow those links up, please. Thanks.
Okay. Sorry, you. Thanks. Go ahead. Someone was about to talk.
Not to cut you guys off. We've come to the end of this meeting, so I'll give another 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll be really quick. It's just to say, in terms of LinkedIn, there are also loads of free webinars and online meetings that people can join absolutely free, because a lot of this is actually about who you know, not what you know. So even if you don't want to connect with people on LinkedIn, just follow them, and the stuff they like, the stuff they share will start to come in your feed, and you can start making other connections, but you can also access free learning that way.
Jojo, let's extend it for another 20 minutes, and we'll just talk on 10 minutes on the next things. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, let's just extend it based on a lot. At least next time we know how to handle things. Okay, so let's move on to the next agenda topic, and that is combining home working and personal development. So anyone wants to chip in on that? So while a lot of us are working from home, how can we personally develop ourselves? I think we've kind of touched it in terms of courses we should take. What are the other things we can do?
I think you can have a schedule for yourself. Even with people with kids, just having a schedule, saying, okay, I'm working from home, but I'm still going to give myself an organized schedule, having a whiteboard at home that tells you, okay, from 8 to 9, I feel like I'm more productive when I set certain times to do certain things. From 8 to 9 a.m., this is what's going to happen. From 9 to 9:30, this is what's going to happen. So I think just doing that can help you, so that when you do go back to work, if you have to back in person, you're not starting to get too comfortable in sedentary lifestyle and just staying at home and not really being productive. And also working out, using the Nike training app a lot, makes you feel like you have a personal trainer there. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Okay, nice. Anyone else has anything to say in terms of that? So home working and personal development.
I just say create a routine as well. So set it as like just kind of like build up on what the lady said. All right, you need to create a routine. So if you say you're going to be doing 8 to 9, make it consistent. All right, don't shift it. All right, it's got to be a lot of discipline as well. So you need to be able to set your mind to doing it and then sticking with it. And it kind of like it gets better with time. But if you don't stick with them, you're never gonna know what's gonna happen. So yeah, just create a routine and stay disciplined. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Samson, just to add to that quickly,
yes.
Because I've been doing a lot of stuff at home myself, and I mean, I don't know what sectors people are working in, but with the civil service, most kind of public sector organizations will have kind of like a large base for people to go on and do like different sets of you can actually create a personal development profile online where you can basically say, okay, I want to do project management, I want to go into IT, I want to go into web design, I want to go into coding. And you can actually do a lot of these things free online with your employer if they've got that platform base for you to use. So yeah, so I've been doing that.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yes, you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. We've got something similar at NHS. I can't think of it on the top of my head. Once I find it, I'll send this out and you can share with everyone. So there is this NHS digital website where you can pretty much learn everything from demand capacity, which is really, really big with NHS now, to project management, and it's all free.
Yeah.
And to tell you what, off the top of my head, there's something called Skills Development Network. That's available.
Please, can you share this?
Yes, I'll share that. But that's available, and it's not just online. That's actually face to face, and it's free of charge. You just need to get your manager to sign the form, and then you can go. And it's in London, so I'll put it on there, and then
awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else has anything to chip in regarding working from home and personal development?
I might add something with regards to working from home. I think it's really important that people create a dedicated space to work. It is about being disciplined, but where we're all getting used to the change, it's really important that you do have a place that's comfortable, somewhere that you can think clearly, and that that you're not just winging it. Because I used to work from home maybe once a week, and I was quite happy to just sit on the sofa or wherever felt comfortable at the time. But now it's more important that I'm set up at a desk and that I've got the appropriate tools to support me to do that. I'd never thought I'd say I miss my work chair, but I really do. And if it means getting a new chair or a laptop stand to help you do that, then that's really important. The second thing that I would reiterate.
Hello? Hello? Tanya, are you still there? Hello? Okay, one more person. Anyone else wants to chip in regarding personal development and homeworking?
Hi, this is Toyo here. So
Hi,
about
Toyo.
homeworking, yeah, I get dedicating a space is actually good. But you know, at this corona period, you have everybody at home. So sometimes your dedicated space might not exactly be like your space, especially in Nigeria here, where you might not really have your room like that per se, or you have people around. So one thing I've discovered this period is
Hello? Hello?
Oh, we just started.
Hello? Tanya, are
Sorry,
you there?
Toyo, you're on mute. I
I'm
don't think
back,
you
but I
realize
don't
you
know
put
what
on
happened.
mute. You
Okay,
went on
Tanya, you were
mute.
chipping in quickly, and Toyo, when she comes back, she'll chip in, and we move to the next topic.
I was just going to say, show up for the work for the day that you want to have, which means actually being dressed and ready to work. It does impact your approach and sort of mental headspace as you take on work throughout the day. And that was it.
So if I'm understanding you, wake up, take your bath, get dressed, sit at home, and sit in your workspace.
Yeah.
Okay. Toyo, are you there?
okay, yes, back up. So I was just saying that another space like one might consider, even though like currently I have like a workspace, but everybody's around, and you know it's not that easy to just give up that your space because you know the whole family's in the house at the moment because of the COVID-19. So one space that you know you can consider would be like a car outside of the house. You can just be in there, you can charge and you know close the doors and have that space. So basically it might not exactly be like a space you've dedicated before in your house. You might also consider some other places, you know, outside of the house where you can also get work done. Yeah, that's just a hack, so to say.
Nice. Anyone else? And then we move to the next topic, which is fitness, and then we just ask a few more questions and we close. Anyone else on this? Any questions?
Just to add, hello. Yeah, can I just?
Yes.
Hello, Sam.